There once was a group inside a well, searching for answers and a shield down there. The fights were hard, the stakes were high, but now we see the sun. Soon the Illithid may come to take our minds and drink our rum. One day when the fighting is done, we'll take our loot and go. It had not been 2 days on shore. We went in the sewers through a secret door. If there's one thing I know for sure, it's that we should go east. Soon the Illithid may come to take our minds and drink our rum. One day when the fighting is done, we'll take our loot and go. I'll take my loot and go.
Welcome to the Lazy BardCast. I'm David Williams, the Dungeon Master for the current adventure, and today I found out that Steven Seagal runs like an absolute maniac.
More than Tom Cruise?
What? Yeah. Oh, look up a video.
Tom Cruise runs with perfect posture.
His arms flail. Steven Seagal, like his right wrist just goes limp.
He's the opposite of Tom Cruise then.
Yeah, he has noodle arms.
He's his yang.
Yeah.
Like Ben Stiller in Starsky and Hutch.
Wow, I feel like we've really come into something, guys. My name is Kyle. I'm playing Talgroth, the Mountain Shield Dwarf Paladin. Talgroth is just a bit of gruff wrapped in a towel.
Oh, towel gruff.
Wow.
Towel Groff.
Now you made a new name for yourself.
Towel Groff.
He's just an old sweaty Russian guy in a bathhouse.
Talgroff sounds like something you get if you use the same towel for too long.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
It's like a disease.
Oh my god, it's the medieval ringworm.
My name is Josh Yarnell. I play Orion Goodbarrel, the most annoying member of the group.
I'm Kyle Dell, and I'm playing Captain Korvac, the Undying Messiah, and I am here to catch all the titles.
Eventually, there's just going to be 3 dots at the end of your titles, and then etc.
Captain Korvac, the Undying Ellipses.
Yeah. There we go.
My name's Jean-Luc Jacques. I play Maven the Monolith Smolderbeard, a Dwarven Tempest Cleric, and the most electrifying man of the West Coast. And East Coast, but no one knows that because I'm not going over there.
If you like what you hear, be sure to look us up at the Lazy BardCast, where things are found.
Boom, boom!
For all other things lazy, check out www.lazybardcast.com, where you can find links to our episodes, player backstories, Patreon rewards, and more.
Previously on the Lazy BardCast.
You all ventured deeper within the Warrens, meeting a group of cultists. A few members were accosted, their minds assaulted by some outside figure that inflicted its will upon you. Afterwards, you all decided to leave the cultists there and headed back to the Ocean Splendor, where you found Tathir running down the gangplank, yelling after all of you. Quick, come down below. Ompar's missing. That's where we pick up. You all should see this. We've found something. Lead the way.
Oh god, it better not be an exploded guy.
He runs below deck in the direction of Ompar's bunk, where he was staying. And he points out on the floor, I didn't notice it before, but there's boot prints on the ground, away from his bunk. He got up and left.
Where do they lead?
I haven't followed them. I came and got you when I saw them.
All right, let's follow him.
Are they growing red like my Witcher senses would tell?
Your Witcher sensors are tingling? No, they are not. But easily enough, you follow them into a back storage closet, Maven. And looking at the footprints, the reason they stand out is because Ompar was so wet. Okay. And his clothing was so wet when you found him. And he leaves these almost dark spots in the floor of the boat. You can see in a small storage closet, one of the portholes on the side of the boat has been busted out, and hanging off of it is what looks like he probably injured himself on the way out of the porthole, squeezing himself through. He's a pretty big guy. He probably barely fit through the hole, but there's some scraps of clothing hanging on, as well as a little bit of blood dripping down. But it seems he made his way out the window.
How long were we gone for?
About an hour and a half.
Tathir, line everybody up on the top of the deck for me.
Of course. So a few minutes pass. You guys making your way up to the top deck. Crew is lined up against the wall. Some familiar faces, some mildly familiar. They're all waiting direction.
Someone was put in charge of watching this guy. Who was it?
But he looks left and right, and nobody speaks up.
Who was it?
They're all now kind of almost frantically looking around. Like, motioning to each other like, come on. Who? Maven, make a history check.
Natural 19.
The 2 individuals you put in charge of watching over Ompar, you do not see lined up along the side of this boat.
I'm just going to go over to Korvac. The 2 people I put in charge of this guy I don't see here anymore.
And you remember them looking over his body, looking over him, pulling out the coin, showing it to Orion, flaring it around.
Okay.
I need everybody to split this group in half.
They look to the middle of the group, and the middle takes like a step apart from each other.
Go over to that mast. You to that mast.
They follow directions.
I'm going to get to Thier and Smee, and they're going to tie them around the mast,
They start tying the crew.
including themselves.
A few of the crew start speaking up. What's happening? Why are we being tied to the boat?
It's because we don't need it. We're going east.
On this ship, we are a crew.
I agree.
We are one. I didn't say respond. And when one person messes up, we all mess up. So now, you guys get to stay on these masts until you learn your lesson.
Captain, if we all messed up, shouldn't we all be tied to the mast?
I've got a rope for us. I've already started, Captain.
Yeah, Ryan's just feeding a rope around. Yeah.
That's true.
Tithir, everyone here that you know is in this crew?
You see him scan each individual face, and all but the 2 missing.
Do you know of them? Do you know their names?
I can get it from the log. It's in Korvac's quarters. They're not people I've worked with. They were picked up recently in port.
Maven's going to walk over to Korvac and just say, I think it was these 2. I don't think these guys need to take the hit for these 2 that are, I think, part of that group we just met, too. I think this is all planned to get us in there.
I still got a point to make, so.
All right, yeah, that's why
to my quarters.
Okay.
You, and you, as I conveniently point to us. And we'll grab the log and we'll discuss basically what we just talked about. So now we've got 2 runaways.
Actually, 3.
3 runaways, one of them which is dead, maybe. A crew that somehow missed all of this. And a mission to go east.
We don't have a mission to go east.
Maven, why are you so against it?
Why are you for it? You guys look like you ate a bunch of ice cubes and are like, oh, east, that sounds great.
Look out this window, Maven.
I gotta be honest, I don't follow your connection there.
Maven, look out this window. You know what I see?
There's no windows in here.
Possibility.
I'm not sure what you... I mean, I know you don't like the weather, but it's not like we really know where we're going next anyway.
Look, I'll go anywhere, but you guys still were just like, oh, east. All of you at the same time,
No,
and it's
but
pretty weird.
It reminded me of a vision that I had last night there where it had a certain kind of, premonition of east. We just had this discussion how I've been confused about the clan and Valega and all this stuff, and I'm still working
All right,
through
this is neither here nor there. We're talking about people running away right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Who knows, maybe they went east.
All right, this is what I think is happening right now. We were apparently supposed to go in there. That dead body, or the unconscious body, pushed us to go in there. That guy was not supposed to wake up. Those 2 helped or took that guy out. Then we go in there. All of you want to go east now. As soon as I felt something try to enter me in my head, you all looked very confused. And then as soon as it was done, you're like, oh, east. That place sounds great.
Okay, out of game.
Does
That
sound
does seem pretty
great.
normal for Corvac to just be a little confused.
Maven, just picture it. A shield sitting atop, I don't know, like a really messed up city in a forest to the east. Doesn't it just sound amazing?
weird. That really was my vision from last night. It's like almost exactly like that.
See, Tallgraph gets it.
I think you're all full of crap.
What?
As someone who has stood by you for the past, all the dangers we've been through, and I saw the look on all your faces, and I know that something tried to enter my head, are you just going to discount that?
Wait,
or
wait.
do you guys really want to go east that bad?
Wait, Do my eyes look okay?
Make a medicine check.
Oh my god. Am I going to explode? It's really happening.
5.
This is it.
They appear to be
I'm
fine.
seeing the light.
You don't see any markings or anything like that, but you're also pretty much watching him the entire
Your
time.
eyes look fine. I don't think that's what's going on right now.
To be fair, I did see quite the lovely glaive here, so... And I do think that this is what was talking to me when I said earlier, I mean, you know how I do that thing, that I won't do it again.
So wait a minute, that's some kind of sentient weapon then?
I believe that this is connected to my people.
All right.
I think this is the source of how I was seeing my own form of communication. I do believe, as much as I would like to head in a different direction, there's a more pressing matter that has to do with my ship. We've got 3 runaways, or escapees, and I would like to know why they left. The problem is we've got no leads, other than footprints and an open porthole with some blood on it. Wait a minute. You know how to find stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
You can locate them from wherever distance away.
Yeah.
What if we take a scrap of the clothing that he was wearing and locate the other piece of that clothing?
I'm going to go over the boat and just jump into the water above where they were at. And then I'm going to, whatever the fastest way to land would be, I'm going to go to that and see if there's any tracks there.
The rest of you, what are you doing?
I'm going to go to my crew, or the person I told, or me,
Yeah.
who cleaned it up, and see if if he has that scrap still. Just like, I just need a piece of that.
Yes, Captain, I found this, and he hands you over the scrap of clothing. It is different than the clothing Ompar was wearing when he came in, but more noticeably, you can feel that there's something wrapped up inside the clothing. Feels like a small scroll.
I'm actually going to go to the top deck and open it.
Okay,
Like in the open.
sure.
Just this, me.
Yes, Captain.
Stop standing around. Untie yourselves.
They do so. You go up to the top, Korvac, and you pull out this piece of paper, and it has a familiar symbol to you. One that, if you recall, you last saw the symbol of the Kraken Society when you received the very first map when you set out on this journey, with all of the strange writings across it, the circled cities.
Wow.
Which, now looking at it again, same symbol that was on those people's robes. You begin unrolling it, and you can now see that it's the same map of the Sword Coast as before, but now all of these etchings spread further and further across the map. You can see the city, Icewind Dale, Baldur's Gate, Waterdeep, are all now, instead of the circle with an X through it, are all now a skull, as if whatever they've gone there to accomplish has been accomplished. And as you begin unrolling it further and further, Korvac, you orientate it and are pulling it to the right side, and you're pulling it out, and you can see that a familiar dark smoke across the page. It's not moving, but it's written in the page, this same sort of humanoid figure that you've seen before to the east on the map.
I'm going to bring it to my quarters and kind of dagger at each corner to my desk, kind of like laying it out to keep it open.
Yeah, make a investigation check. I believe you're still exhausted.
2.
You can tell that the smoky essence on the page is made up of words, letters. You can't make out what any of them are, though. They're far too close together, far too smudged together into this large piece of artwork. So, Maven, you run to the top deck of the ship, look over the side where you see the small broken porthole, and you jump over the edge into the water below. Looking left to right, down, you don't see anywhere, you don't see anything that was dropped out of the window, anything like that, and you start making your way to the nearest beach. You make it to the beach, make a survival check, looking for tracks.
10.
Looking across the beach, it's still littered from battle. There's bloodstains across the ground, hundreds of footprints, edge to edge on the beach, though they are being washed away by the tide. A lot of the litter has been pulled in. You imagine, unless you're here pretty quickly right on the shoreline, it's going to be pretty hard to find any footprints. You don't see any immediately.
I'll head back to the ship.
Okay.
Talgroff is just going to go over to, I guess, the bow of the ship and pull out the stone heart and
Sure, you reach into your pack, you feel a pile of dust.
kind of shake my pack out and
The
look for it more
It
steadily.
shakes out, and you see a lot of gray dust fall out, and your other items, all your other items are all there, but where you were keeping the heart is just a pile of dust now.
Oh boy. I guess don't have much to go on except going east now. And I'll just wait for see anybody else.
Cool. Maven, you head back to the ship. You see Talgroff on deck.
I don't like this.
You see a few of the crewmates. They look at you and give kind of a nod and look around. You can tell everybody's very on edge, much like you, and looking at each other suspiciously, too. It's obvious there's a lot of untrust kind of going through the ranks.
Is this because of the Korvac thing, or is this because of the people escaping?
You get a sense that it's mostly an untrust of the crew to each other. They kind of understood what Korvac was doing.
Gotcha, okay.
Probably most of them have had much worse from previous captains, and being tied to a mast for 5 minutes wasn't really that bad, but they understood his point.
Okay.
Maven,
Yeah.
I gotta show you something.
All right, let's see it.
It's in here.
Maven goes into the captain's quarters.
You go in, you can see on top of Korvac's captain's table is this map he has folded out of the Sword Coast. The 3 main cities, Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, and Waterdeep, are now skulls. It's a map you've seen before.
I'm going to cast Sending to Silverhand. And I'm going to say, I'm looking at a map right now with skulls crossed over Icewind Dale, Baldur's Gate, and Waterdeep. Do you know what this means?
I'm unsure what it means. Something's happened to the crew on my ship. We're heading back. Please don't leave. Something's wrong. I think I have answers.
Man.
I don't like this at all.
Who is it?
As you hang up the phone.
Silverhand. She said don't move, and something weird's going on with her crew also. This is like the thing right now. Like, I feel like I can't trust anyone.
This map's got me a bit of heebie-jeebies.
Korvac and Maven, I'd say over the few minutes you've been here looking over this map, you start to see a pattern throughout the words. It's not as large as you originally thought. You realize that over and over this smoky figure just says... yeah.
Oh, man.
Says burn thousands of times to make this enormous picture of this smoky humanoid figure on this map.
Does that say what I think it says?
Yep.
I wonder why, considering I watched him die. Then again, you watched me die,
Yeah.
and we watched 2 others die.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think dying's not real.
I mean, tell that to Thor and Thedra.
Maybe they're wondering the weird things that murdered them.
Nah, I don't
I
think
mean,
so.
it's not out of the realm of possibility here. Come on, I mean, we watched someone explode, and now I got a note that says I need to kill him. Wait,
What?
you remember Valith, that one. I got this, and I pull my note out. I need to kill him.
Well, then mission accomplished.
That's what I thought, but I just got with this. We watched him explode. Just like I watched Ben die into a bloody mess. This is getting real confusing.
Who gave that to you?
Remember Click?
Unfortunately.
Remember that package I received? That same delivery service, we'll say, sent me another one.
Who are these people?
Well, Valith, we know Valith.
No, yeah. Why do they want Click and Valith dead?
That's a great question. Maybe they like some assurance that they're dead.
Someone's just if I give you a piece of paper right now that says go kill Tathir, you're going to be like, oh, okay.
I mean, if you gave it to me, I would trust it.
He's got a point.
Hold on, one moment. And I'm going to go over to the other side of the room and grab one of the 2 remaining bottles.
Sure.
I'm like, here, enjoy this.
I don't want that.
It came with it.
Look, something's weird's going on right now, and I don't want that. And you're getting weird letters just saying go kill people, and you're like, yeah, okay. You have no idea why. That's very concerning.
Are you going to drink this or not?
No, I don't want it.
Man, I thought dwarves drink.
These people, do you even know who they are?
I know who they are.
Who are they?
For me to know, as the captain, and for you to enjoy my splendors. Wine?
No.
Well, seems like we're at an impasse at the moment.
You guys hear a knock on the door outside. It's Talgroff. Are you guys in there?
Tailgroff, my man, I got something for you. Come on in. Would you like some wine?
I guess so. Kind of the middle of the day.
Are you going to deny wine from your captain?
No,
I mean, I guess you don't have to drink it now. I just thought you were a dwarf.
I'm a dwarf. Give me that bottle.
Now go easy, it's pretty strong.
Yeah, well, I'm a dwarf. I was just outside, on the deck, thinking about everything going on. And, and I hold out a fistful of ash. This happened. You guys remember the stone heart?
Unfortunately, and to be honest, I didn't even want that on my ship, so I don't know if I'm mad about that.
The point is that this thing, obviously there's nothing coming through this anymore.
Well, can you still talk to her?
No.
Have you tried?
Yeah.
Have you really tried?
What's really trying?
Like, not just going like, hey, it's me. Like, lighting some incense and actually trying.
I don't carry around incense.
Pour bath. Put on a few petals.
You know what? I'm going to go trying harder. Whatever you said.
I'll throw him an incense.
A single incense.
Did someone say that they needed romantic music in there?
Speaking of the devil, Orion, I've got a task for you.
I kind of like that
Don't
nickname.
go anywhere, Talgroff.
All right.
You little medley one.
Yeah, I could play a medley.
Meet Talgroff.
I know Talgroff.
He needs a medley. A real good try-hard medley.
I guess if you got something that can bring the affection of the gods.
I could do that.
You got it. Run along, you two.
Talgroff walks away. Run along. I'm a dwarf. Run along.
Talgroff, did you want me to follow you?
Yeah, sure. Come on.
Okay.
Perfect. So you guys start heading below deck. Try to find a more private area. You head down below deck. It's pretty quiet. The sailors, again, are pretty... Like, the wind has been taken out of their sails. After being tied to the mast, they're all now untrusting of each other after they had these runaways. So they're all keeping to themselves throughout the boat. But you find a small, quiet place, and Orion, you start playing your tune.
Talgroff, you can pray to this, light some candles and incense, and speak to your new god who's named Valega.
It goes like this. The axe, the fist. I don't know where to go from here.
Sure.
But
Yeah,
that was plenty. That was great.
Yeah. But you light a little bit of incense, Talgroff, something you probably haven't really done before, it sounds like.
Talgroff puts his hands together and kind of rubs them unsuringly. And says, Valega, you're still there.
Make a religion check.
Dirty 20.
So, Talgroff, as you begin focusing, calling out to Valega if she'll answer, you remember kind of your journey with this heart from when you first picked it up and you felt the heartbeat to then focusing on it during a moment of kind of respite to where these black tendrils you saw go into your hand and the heartbeat got more intense. And then all the way through to her talking, claiming to be the god of the silver flame. And all throughout it, you felt this strange disconnect with her. And not only that, this disconnect to the silver flame, which is something you haven't felt before. And now focusing on the heart, you feel no heartbeat. You don't hear this voice in your head, but you feel a reconnection to the faith that you've practiced.
I think it's working. Feeling something on the inside, like a flame.
Oh.
Like a silver flame.
Oh, keep going, Talgroff. Pray harder.
And as you're sitting there, Talgroff, a few, probably 15, 20 minutes pass as you're kind of entering this meditation state. And the incense burning next to you, very slowly the flame begins to shift from this orange ember at the end into this silvery essence that you're very familiar with. And there's no other change in the room. The smell stays the same, but you feel a reconnection to the spirit you've known. Maven, after leaving Korvac's room, where do you go?
Can I tell that everyone's visibly just not doing well?
Yeah, there's definitely like a dragging in everybody's emotional state on the crew, like not talking to each other. Usually it's more jovial. Even at this point in the morning when they're getting together, cleaning the ship, there's still people off in their corners playing dice and joking, telling stories, but it's just very quiet and kind of sullen.
Maven's going to call Orion up to the main deck.
Maven, you make your way up top, looking around for a while, and then head downstairs to find Orion, finishing up with Tallgroff downstairs.
I'm gonna be like, Orion,
Yeah.
everyone's morale. I'm just gonna give him a dirty look as he does that.
Okay, won't do it again.
Everyone's morale is really low. I got a sea shanty you should start him with.
I go, oh, and I run up and down the boat trying to get everyone to hear me as I can.
As you run by, all the sailors are turning their heads like, what is going on?
And I make my way to the top. Oh, do my Johnny Walker, come rock and roll me over.
Oh,
do my Johnny Walker, do.
And then I'll kind of motion for everyone to be like, oh, do me
Yeah.
Johnny Walker, do.
Yeah, as you guys go around, it's certainly within a few phrases going through it. It's kind of awkward on the ship at first, but they all start getting into it. And before you know it, you guys aren't really singing along. Well, Orion definitely is. Maven, you're not really singing along so much, just as watching the crew take it from here. And they're just going on, having a great time singing this sea shanty.
And I'll just be like, let those pirates hear you.
And they're all going about their work, pulling down the sails to clean them and everything, and pulling them back up, and going around the ship, just getting things done now.
I'll just hang out in the crow's nest as I listen to this sea shanty.
Cool. You guys have between a day and a half, depending on weather, before Laryl and her fleet make their way back. Korvac, while you're studying this glaive, this verdant glaive of warning, as you're holding it, you spin the glaive in half and it comes apart, and you see where you can fold it and make it into a longsword, if you would prefer.
Okay.
Can I do two things?
Yeah.
One, I'd like to go to town and get like higher-ish end ale, like a casket of it, maybe a few, like 3 to 4.
Yeah, going to the various ale houses in town, most of them are, there was a pirate attack a day or so ago. But you're able, we'll say you can scoop up what you need for 20 gold.
Okay. I do that, and I just kind of help them through as doing well with like the siege attack on their own. I'll like give that to the crew. And then I'm going to cast sending to Valeth.
Yes.
Okay. Maven, you get all that together. You give the ale that you got to the crew, and now between that and they're singing, and it seems like they're just kind of in the swing of things again. Though down 2 men if you guys are to go back out to sea on the ship.
Maven, everyone's happy. Look, they tied me to the mast.
That's great. That means they like you.
Yeah,
Can you get me down? All the blood's rushing to my head.
He says upside down.
We had the same idea.
Maven, you continue walking through the boat and head downstairs, and you cast Sending on Valeth. You feel a connection.
God.
What do you say?
How are you alive?
You hear a familiar, once friendly voice. You survived. I wouldn't come looking for me if I were you.
Okay.
I was expecting you to be like, "Run, run, run."
Okay, now that happened, Maven's going to really quick cast sending again and see if Thora or Thaedra responds.
Yeah, you cast that. You find no level of communication. You don't find your spell reaching out to other planes.
Okay. Maven will just sit up there and ponder.
So you guys get your long rest, and you wake up the following morning.
I'd like to awaken Orion doing something.
Okay.
I'm going to go to him wherever he is and put my hand on his head. I'm like, tell me about East.
There's probably a shield there.
As he's talking about it, I'm just going to cast Greater Restoration on him.
Okay. So you cast Greater Restoration. Orion, you feel a wave wash through your mind of just blinding numbness for a few moments before any thought of the East is gone. You're not sure why you wanted to go there. You're not sure what compelled you to go there. You have very little memory of what happened in the Warrens.
Oh, that's weird. You stopped talking. What's...
You ready to set sail, Maven?
No.
What's beyond the horizon? Let's go.
But you definitely, it's like thudding in your mind. You know Maven just affected you somehow. You feel clear.
What did you do?
Give you the truth.
I don't think the shield's there anymore.
It's not. It never was.
But what about Tallgraph?
Well, tomorrow he'll feel the same way.
And Orion, you're left in your cabin with a clear mind.
I will open my journal and rip out my things to do, east, note. And I'll crumple it up and go, well, I guess we're not getting this list accomplished, and I'll toss it.
Okay. As the hours pass, it is a very clear day. Eventually you hear a call, a ship bearing the Lord's Alliance flag, and it's flanked by a few other ships as well. You imagine it's Lady Laryl returning.
I'll announce to the ship that she's in within sight.
Shmi begins running around, making sure everybody's looking tip-top, and by that I just mean he kind of smushes their face with a little rag and some spit. Over the next hour or so, Lady Laryl and the rest of this fleet make their way into port and begin the docking process. Pretty quickly, as the moment a gangplank is set up on Lady Laryl's own ship, she makes her way down and pretty briskly is walking in the direction of your ship, meeting at least Maven.
I'll be there.
Are you up?
I think everyone will be there.
I'm still in my quarters.
I'm going to go get Korvac.
Please gather the captain, meet me on my ship. I have someone who is ready to talk.
Korvac.
What is it, man?
Lady Laryl's here. Let's go. Come on. You got eye booger.
Okay. As I go to get it. Oh, is it gone?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Lots of sleepies, huh?
Oh, much needed. Much needed. Lead the way.
God.
All right. We're coming.
All right. You guys make your way in the direction of Lady Laryl's ship. That was amazing. Making your way in the direction of her ship, you can see that already there are guards posted out front, but they let you in no problem. It's definitely a well-decorated ship, seen a lot of use. But most notably, in the middle of the ship right now, you can see being brought out from back quarters is a familiar face, Store, the man that you traveled with on the voyage.
Oh, good. Is he going to give us more gold?
His hands are bound, and he's being he's flanked by guards on either side of him. He almost looks shameful in the way he's walking, like his head's hung low, but he makes his way in your direction. Lady Laryl nearby him, and we found him hiding on our ship about a day out of harbor. Says he traveled with all of you. Do you recognize him?
Yeah, he gave me gold.
Yeah, he was part of the last crew.
Well, he says he's ready to talk.
Out with it. Come on.
Store speaks up, and I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I'm sorry for this mess. When I joined up with all of you, look, do any of you know what it's like to just scrape by?
Yep.
I was a petty thief. That's all I was. I joined your crew to make some gold.
But then you ended up giving it to me.
Gave some away. Yeah, I made more than I spent. It was still barely anything, but I have a family. I had a daughter. Well, things went wrong on that ship. There's something out there, and it started the night that you brought that boy on the ship. Something was wrong about him, and then that night I had this strange dream. We were so far out in the water, and whatever was talking to me, I had to get back to Waterdeep. I had to get back to my family, and
Spit it out. What'd you do?
when I got here, it wanted me to continue. I thought it just wanted me to get to the shore, but it wanted me to go further east, and I'm not sure what was calling me, but then this incursion happened at the city where all these things attacked and came out of that portal, and I haven't been able to find my daughter since. I ran and hid on Lady Laryl's ship, and I didn't think I could trust anyone coming aboard the ship because I don't know if they feel the same way as I do. I don't trust myself right now, but I never intended any of this to happen. When we arrived in port in Gunderloon, I met with some mage hunters that were nearby, and I sold some information.
What kind of
How
information?
much? What information?
Valis location. I told him he was with all of you and that you were journeying further within Gunderloon, and I couldn't come back on the ship. I was afraid that they'd tell you.
Well, Mr. Maven told us that his friend Valeth exploded.
I don't know what became of him. I fled. I didn't get back on the boat. I found my own way back.
Well, certainly you'll get your own punishment, but you make it seem like the whole attack here was your doing, or you had a hand in it. Not that you just sold some things and stole some things. I mean, I'm sure half the crew has done worse.
The mage hunters, some of the magic I saw them using, it was the same kind of magic that I saw in the city. Weird portal, the things coming out of it. I saw them using similar means of transportation. I don't know if I led them there. If I did, I feel responsible.
Did we see any mage hunters?
Yep. That's where Click left you.
Yes, right. Oh, that Click guy.
So do you guys think that we should go find these mage hunters?
That sounds like a good idea, yeah. Well, Lady Silverhand, appreciate you giving us the opportunity to go over this with this feller. But he's on your ship. It's your matter. What'll you do with him?
She looks at him for a few moments. What do you wish, Store? He kind of looks around at all of you, and I know that what I've done is wrong, but I want to find my daughter. I want to... Whatever's happening to my mind, I don't want it to come to fruition. Is there perhaps something I can do? Can I travel aboard your ship? I know that's an ask. Lady Laryl looks at him, and you say you don't trust yourself. You don't trust those around you. How can you expect them to trust you? Perhaps an oath.
That's something I'm familiar with. But you better be prepared to make it if you're gonna.
The Store looks around the ship and, well, what does an oath entail?
It binds you
It keeps you going.
till your last breath. You fulfill it.
Do I pray to somebody about an oath? Do I just make it?
You declare it.
And then you have to live it.
If it allows me to get some sort of vengeance on these, whatever it is that's hunted me, whatever's doing this to my mind, sure.
Talgroff.
Talgroff will take out his axe and put it butt end on the ground in front of him. Grab this and speak your oath, and it'll be...
Lady Laryl goes up and undoes the bindings on his wrist. He reaches out and he picks up the axe. Should I just speak from the heart?
What do you want?
I want to discover whatever's happening to my mind, and whoever's behind it, I want to hunt them. I want to seek vengeance on anyone who gets in my way. Until I'm able to find my daughter, this thing in my mind breaks. Is that an oath?
An oath of vengeance.
Is that it?
Only if you mean it. Really, truly mean it.
I mean it, this feels strange. Sets the axe back
You
down
get
on the
used to
ground.
that, Paul.
I think we should take him.
I just nod.
All right, I'll pull my weight.
I know. Well, come along.
You follow suit.
Lady Silverhand, can I talk to you for a moment? So, we went into the Warrens, and something affected Korvac, Talgraph's, and Orion's mind, and they all wanted to go east too. So since then, took a lot of work, but I got it out of Orion using a high-level spell. I had to cast Greater Restoration on him. I can only do it once a day, and it's very pricey, so I can't keep doing it.
That's simple enough. I'll cover the cost for the other 3. If you could send them to Castle Waterdeep tonight, I can have it taken care of.
Okay.
We have people who specialize in that sort of thing.
Okay, we can do that.
And Orion's fine.
Orion now
Nothing
is... So far, it seems like he's fine. It seemed like he got deflated immediately about the east as soon as I did it.
Good. Well, I'm not going to pretend to know the next best move here. I'm going to work on rebuilding in Waterdeep, and I'll keep my eyes open. Kind of counting on you to head this. You've all gotten more done than any of us have in 5 days.
Have you heard from the other cities that they got attacked?
They did get attacked. Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale. They were both attacked in similar manners, though there were no signs of dragons in those places.
Okay. We're going to need a lot of diamonds.
I'll see what I can do.
All right. And I'll just slightly bow to her.
She gives you a nod in return. Eventually, you guys reconvene back aboard the Ocean Splendor.
Store, what did you do on the ship last?
Gambled and arm wrestled.
Other than that, what?
Look, I'm not much of a deckhand. I can learn, though.
Tithir,
Tithir comes up and runs over.
watch
Captain.
this, man. Make sure he learns real good.
Understood. Will do.
Lady Silverhand wants us to go to Castle Waterdeep, and actually Store needs to go too.
Tithir,
Captain.
I need him a moment.
Sure. Would you like me to continue watching them?
When we get back,
Excellent.
lead the way.
So we're going to the castle?
Yep.
Wow. Quite an honor.
It was the first time we were there.
So you guys make your way in the direction of Castle Waterdeep. And as you approach Maven and Korvac, you see the familiar entryway. It's fairly grand, though there are some pieces of rubble on the ground where the castle was definitely hit by a stray cannonball or two, or perhaps a focused one. Orion and Talgroff, this is the first time you're approaching the castle intending to enter. You maybe have strolled by previously and took a look, but stepping over the drawbridge and going inside, you can hear the faint sounds of a hymnal prayer being sung.
Cue the Stormwind music.
Yeah, cue the Stormwind music. And stepping into a circular chamber, you can see the masked lords of Waterdeep, the ruling body that works with Lady Silverhand, and they're all anonymous members wearing masks and robes that hide their figure. But they're all seated in a room, and you see that there is a cleric awaiting and ready. Lady Laryl is not currently present, but the cleric, seeing all of you approaching, please come in. Father Andrew, I will be performing the various rituals required.
Would you require any music?
No, that's quite all right.
Why do these other two need to be here for my leg?
Because we're also being blessed by the lady.
They have other ailments to be blessed.
You've got an ailment. So I'm the captain.
Or they have wine. Need ale.
The self-introduced Father Andrew pulls a symbol from his chest piece. You recognize it as the symbol of Lathander, another deity in the Forgotten Realms. He begins saying a few words, holds out a hand filled with sparkling dust that Maven you recognize as the diamond material component required for greater restoration. And he points his hand in the direction of Korvac. The dust gathers and spreads across you, and you feel whatever had entered your mind previously completely dissipates, and you have very little recollection of what happened in the Warrens. Without a beat, the father continues, going on to Talgroff, where a very similar sensation overcomes you.
Why didn't his leg grow back?
And then to Store, where you see a look of clarity come over his face. And all of you are no longer under the effects of the aforementioned.
Now they get a lollipop.
I think it would have sounded better with some music.
The lady blesses all of you and wishes the very best for your travels. Now, if you'll excuse me, and he turns to leave.
Nothing changed about my leg.
No, but how does these sound?
Like the direction?
Yeah.
I'm not sure
if we want to go,
I'm not sure what you're getting at there.
No, I don't either. I sound crazy right now.
Yeah, stop talking about East, Maven. Jeez.
I feel really good, though.
Really running into the ground.
Is there
only thing
something
you ever
over there?
talk
I mean, I'm
about.
down to go.
There's nothing over there.
I look
except for fog and
I look
sadness.
really sparkly, too. Is that all part of it?
Store looks up and it's gone.
Where's gone?
The feeling. Where are we headed to now?
You know where I think we should go? I think we should go back to Gunderloon.
I actually agree with that.
On your stroll back to the ship, Maven, you notice Store glancing at the longsword at your side. Seem just looking over it, reading the engraving on the hilt, which I realized I've said 100 different times, and it's just through strength we grow.
Yeah.
And I've said together. Cord doesn't care about together. It's strong.
Strong.
You like it?
It's impressive.
Maybe you stick with your oath long enough, you'll get something as nice as it.
Maybe. What does the hilt mean?
It's from Cord.
Is that a god?
Yeah, it's the god. It's better than all the other ones.
What makes him the best?
He's the strongest. He's also the most badass. And the smartest, because obviously he picked me as his acolyte.
Could you teach me about Cord?
Yeah, actually, I think I still have a book about him. There's many other deities in there, too, actually.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
He sounds interesting. Strong. I could use that.
Sure. I'll give it to you when we get it back on the ship.
You guys all reconvene aboard the Ocean Splendor.
As Korvac comes up to me, I'm just going to be not afraid, but just tapping my hands, be like, Valis alive. He seems a little different, too.
What makes you say that?
Just the way he was talking.
You spoke to him.
Mm-hmm. He said, don't come looking for me.
Did he say where he was?
No.
Well,
Now we got 4 people to find.
one step at a time, I guess. Gundaloon?
Yeah, Gunderloon.
Prepare to send off, everyone. It's me.
Thanks for listening to the latest installment of our game, Into the Storm, Season 2. If you are arriving in the middle of the story, listen back to Season 1, The Dungeon of the Wacky Wizard, to discover our players' origins. Please take a moment to leave us a review on Apple Podcast to share your opinion about our show, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any Lazy Bard releases. I'd also like to thank two very special listeners, Hannah and Lydia. Thanks for being fans and for your kind words. I'm sure it won't go to this little halfling's head. Now, if you want more, check out patreon.com/thelazybardcast for bonus content, including merch, blooper reels, Korvac's custom class, and voting rights for our one-shot games. We'll see you next time on the Lazy BardCast.
And today we're playing not at our normal location because we're building a studio, and this is going to be nothing but net.
Nothing but Josh.
It's okay, guys. We'll fix it in post.
All right.
Josh, sort of switch sounds.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Whoever's going next, throw the basketball.
All right.
It's just like
Throw it after you go.
like the
Or you
worst
say
net sound.
something.
My name's Kyle Paquin. I'm playing Talgroth, the Mountain Shield Dwarf. Armor of Necrotic Resistance gives you also resistance to neurotic damage. Ayo!
Nothing but net.
I'm glad we saw
It literally was. My name's Sean-Luc Jacques. I'm playing Maven the Monolith Smolderbeard, the most electrifying man everywhere. Now.
Oh, snap.
Oh, not just the sea.
Before we were
It got so bad so fast.
I just punched the table so hard. Ow!
Oh, man.